What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm a little under the weather. My little one, my young boy, my baby, he got me sick. He got a little cold from school and passed it on to me, but it's all good. We're gonna still operate and do what we gotta do. So anyway, I'm watching, YouTube always recommends certain clips. I watch certain things. I watch YouTube like it's TV. And I get a lot of my talking points or certain conversations that I have on the channel. I get it from things I've seen on social media and YouTube, and then I talk about what I've seen and give my thoughts about it. I want to explain that for people who are new to the channel. So the Joe Budden podcast, it pops up, and Ish, one of the co-hosts on the Joe Budden podcast, he does not. Well, first Joe asks, "Hey man, I heard you don't want us." Joe Budden asks Ish, "I heard you are not for reparations. You're not for black folks getting reparations, right?" And Ish, he talks around it all to really say no. He's not in favor for black people getting reparations. And he says he feels like a reparations check isn't really going to do what people think it's going to do. He gives reasonings for several other reasonings. He said black people need equity. I don't think we'll fare any better if we get a check from reparations. I don't think we'll fare any better if we get a reparations check. He says, I think reparations would be a waste for most. Then he says, if we're not changing how we're being treated in America, it'll be a waste. So he says he would rather us change how we're being treated in America versus just get a check, right? And I'm like, how about let's do both? Why not do both? Why can't we try to get how we're treated changed in America while also getting what we're properly owed, right? And I want to get to this point because Ish says, he starts out by saying, I'm not really a fan of handouts. And see, that's that bullshit that got to get checked. You see, that is one of a lot of anti-black racists, a lot of white supremacists use that angle as a reason not to pay black folks reparations. Oh, you want a handout? You want a handout? Who wants a handout? And I always say this. Well, you were okay with accepting a handout when it came from your great granddaddy. You was okay with the shit then. You a trust fund baby. Trust fund baby. You was okay with getting that $1 million from that trust fund that your grandfather set up for you. You was okay with getting that money that your daddy left. That's a handout. You didn't work for that shit. So why shouldn't we be able to profit off of the hard work, the literal blood that our ancestors put into this country, into American soil through slavery, right? So let me get this clear first. First of all, reparations is not a handout. It's what we are owed from our people being enslaved on American soil, right? And not being paid at all. American slavery lasted what? 250 years, right? Something along the lines of that. I could be off. If I am, correct me, right? American slavery lasted for about 250 years. And even after the Emancipation Proclamation of 1865, our people were not paid. They were not paid properly at all. They were still taken advantage of. They weren't paid what they were worth at all. They weren't even looked at as citizens still, right? So you're damn right. I want the money. Yes, we want the reparations check. We do, because we're owed that. We're owed that. Ain't no handout, no. So some people because I know some people gonna say, well, your ancestors worked for that. You didn't. Well, the same way your motherfucking great granddaddy worked for the money he got and you didn't. And you still got it, right? Give us the money our ancestors died and gave their life for. Being enslaved, being treated inhumane, subjected to inhumane conditions. Our people were here getting, you know the word I want to say, the R word. I don't want to get demonetized. Forget it, man. They were being raped and pillaged and so on and so forth. Beaten to a bloody pulp while building the foundations of this country. Banks, educational universities, so on and so forth. All of those things. And a reparations check has not been handed to black folks. That's crazy, and it should. And let me make this clear. I think every descendant, again, of of American slavery should get reparations, because every descendant of American slaves should get reparations, because our people, we want the American government to give us the money because our people were enslaved on American soil. They were done horribly wrong on American soil. They were taken advantage of on American soil. Not even taken advantage of as light. They were treated like next to nothing. Next to nothing, and worked to the bone. Not even work, they were slaved because they didn't get paid. Work is when you get paid. They didn't get paid at all. They were slaved. And had, families were split up. People were beaten, and the worst disgusting things happened to women, children, and even men. Okay? Yeah, we need reparations from that. And from the fact that, people who were in the slave masters were able to profit off of labor, off of free labor from our people, which gave them 10 legs up over us. Gave them a 300+ year head start over us. We not on equal playing field now at all. And because they love to say, well, Barack Obama was a president. That didn't put us on equal footing at all. They know we not. We're nowhere near on equal footing as them. So yeah, for all those years you enslaved our people, got free labor out of our people, and were able to profit off of our labor, to send your grandkids to school and great grandkids to school, and they ain't even got to go to school. They able to just be fat and caked up without even going to school, and so on and so forth. Your children, I shouldn't say your ancestors. Your ancestors left your descendants. Your ancestors left their descendants with all type of revenue, all they caked up, and be able to enjoy the fruits of their ancestors' labor. Why can't we be able to do the same thing? Why can't we be able to enjoy the fruits of our ancestors? Why shouldn't we be able to profit off of our ancestors' labor when they were done dirty in this country? Dirty, And let me say this too, because Ish made this point up. He brought this up. He didn't make it up. He was like, people always say, because he said something along the lines of, I think it would be a waste for most people. He was like, a lot of people aren't going to do the right things with the money. He made the joke. He was like, they say, if we get reparations, he brought up like a Dave Chappelle skit. Like, the Cadillac dealership will be empty in 2 days. And if that's the case, so fucking be it. So fucking what? Okay? I'm not into people trying to police black folks' money. Or you can get reparations, but you only got to use it for this. No. You don't tell them trust fund babies what they need to use their money for. You don't tell other non-black trust fund babies, white trust fund babies, and all that, you can only use it for this, that, and the third. Don't try to police what we get, Don't try to police the money we getting from our ancestors of enslavement and their slave labor. No, you're not gonna police that. No, if people want to go buy gold chains and buy cars and all that type of stuff, if they want to go buy jewelry, if they want to go buy gym shoes. I'm from Chicago. We say gym shoes and not sneakers. If they want to do that, so be it. People should be able to do whatever they see fit with the money that their ancestors worked for, were enslaved for in this country. They should be able to do whatever they want to do with the money that their ancestors worked for in this country. That their ancestors bled out for in this country. They should be able to do whatever they want to do with it. Ain't no policing us. Because that's another way anti-black or white racists that's another way they try to justify not giving us a check. Well, people not going to use it properly. They're not going to do the right things with it. Well, we shouldn't be able to give them the money unless they get, some type of education on how to spend it. They don't care about us spending the money properly. They don't want to give it to us. So they try to use all these other stipulations, these qualifiers and all of that. Well, they're not going to do the right things with it. Only if you spend it on school and all. You know what? Give us the check. And in addition to that, let us be able to give free education from a university. Since our ancestors built a lot of these damn colleges that people going to, all these blue blood schools, our ancestors built these schools. So since our ancestors went and built these schools from y'all enslaving us and had us here building all these institutions for y'all, since they did that, oh, we need to be going to these schools our ancestors built for free. Or even if we didn't build it, some of these schools, it was funded by the slave labor that our people were working. It was funded by the slave labor of our ancestors, these schools and universities, that the slave labor funded it. That's for damn sure. If they didn't build it, it funded it for goddamn sure. If they didn't build this school, it for sure funded it. So we need to go, since our people were not paid for the slave labor, yeah, we need to be going to these schools for free, in addition to the reparations check. Don't try to make it one thing or the other. Oh, we only gonna give you the money to go to school. No, give us the money that we owed. You hear me? Especially since y'all got a 300 plus year head start on us. The playing field ain't nowhere near close to being equal. Don't point to me, and don't point to Oprah Winfrey or Jay-Z or LeBron James or Michael Jordan or any other outliers. Don't point to them as a reason. Oh, we all on an equal playing field. No, a lot of them were super exceptional in a way where they had to be 3 times better than their counterparts to even get to that type of point. And all of us aren't blessed with athletic prowess to get us to be multimillionaires or entertainment type of prowess to get us to that type of point. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, don't say we don't want, don't say I don't want no handouts. It's saying I'm not a fan of handouts. Saying it's a handout is disrespectful to our ancestors and what they were subjected to in this country. And what happened to them in this country. Excuse me, I'm stuttering. Again, when I get passionate about a topic, I'll start stuttering, so on and so forth. So please bear with me and forgive me for that. But yeah, man, I'm like, man, what? What? Come on, man. Our ancestors worked and built this country without being compensated. So you compensate their descendants, us, the descendants of American slavery. The descendants of American slaves should get paid reparations. Our people were here on American soil, because again, America's handing out this check. So everybody who are the descendants of American slaves, and black folks was enslaved on American soil. Black people, yeah. So I'm talking about me and other black folks who are descendants of American slaves. You know what I mean? We need that check. Cut the check. Cut the check and don't try to police how we spending it and all of that. Like I said before, it's no different than a trust fund baby of a billionaire getting all the bank. They ain't work for that money, but they grandfather and fathers and all of that, they work for it. Or if their father didn't work for it, because a lot of times their father didn't even work for it. The great grandfather worked for it and swindled a lot of folks and did a lot of stealing and a lot of trickery, a lot of conniving, and a lot of backstabbing to get that bread, And our people were backstabbed and led astray and victimized in the worst fashion. You know what I mean? And we get told to get over it. Who cares? It didn't happen to you. Well, yeah, it didn't happen to me, but it happened to our ancestors. And due to that, we were set back so far behind everybody else because our people were not compensated properly for their sweat equity, blood equity, for the sweat and blood they put in this country. They were not compensated properly for it. And we got left behind the 8 ball for 300 plus years. Weren't even after 1865, we were not looked at as citizens. Looked at as scum next to nothing. We're still not compensated properly. We're still paid like we were just some aliens from outer space. Still looked at like we were disgusting. You know what I mean? So yeah, we need them reparations. We need them reparations, man. So I'm in disagreement with Ish. I don't care if, some people, they gonna do this and do that with the money. Who cares? I don't care what people spend it on. We give us the check. Who gives a damn what we spending the money on? It's our money. It's our money from our ancestors, work and building this country. Give us the check. We get to spend it however we want to spend it. You know what I mean? And some people, and I heard Ish saying, you know, we need to change how we're being treated in America versus getting a check. We can do both. We can do both. We can do both. Let's change how we're being treated in America and get them to, well, they know how we're being treated. They don't give a damn. A lot of them don't. Majority of them don't. But yeah, we can change how we're being treated in America and still cut that check and then still let us go to college for free. You feel, speaking of that, they trying to garnish checks and all of that for student loans being in default, all of that. Yeah. Our ancestors, yeah, they went into creating these schools. So we need to be at these universities for the free 99. Free 99. You know what I mean? So yeah, black folks, in addition to the reparations, should get access to free university education. You know what I mean? All that, if you gotta get it, you get a check, you gotta do something specific with it. It only gotta be for school. Miss me with that BS. No. No. People always want to police black folks' money. All the time. Always gotta make sure we doing this and doing that. Nobody, they all want to make sure, no, you can't do it with, you can't do that with it. Yeah, no, police, do you police some trust fund babies' money? No. And I know I'm regurgitating the same talking points, but I'm just like, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Again, slave masters, the people who own slaves, they attain generational wealth through the institution of slavery. They did, right? While our people got beatings, got violated in the worst way, in the most inhumane ways, and were not paid for it. People were able to attain generational wealth from being slave owners. You know? Slave owners. And we were out here, our people, our black American folks, our people that was enslaved on black American soil was out here working till the sun came, when the sun came up to when the sun came down, all of that being violated in the worst way, and still were not paid at all for none of it. And again, slavery lasted for what? Again, almost 250 years. I think, yeah. Like 250 years, maybe 246 specifically, but 250, I believe. I would say I would round it up 250, but I think it's like 246 years or something. The institution of slavery in America lasted. Black people were enslaved in America for like 246 years or so. But then even after slavery was abolished in 1865, we were still treated like next to nothing. And slavery was not abolished because people cared about black folks so much. When the Civil War happened, they knew to get to the Confederacy in slavery, abolish slavery, so that they can be able to. It would hurt their economy. It would hurt it would hurt them in the worst way when it came to all type of goods, so on and so forth. You know. But anyway, just wanted to get on here and talk about that, man. And again, I want everybody to know I talk about fun topics on here too. Sports. I just did a video on George Pickens. I'm going to do a video on the NBA playoffs. I'm going to do some fun stuff. I did a video about the 100 men versus gorilla. We do a lot of fun stuff on here. We do a lot of great fun live streams, so on and so forth. But as of the recent weeks, there's been more of a serious tone across a lot of things going on in the YouTube world and the real world, so on and so forth. And when serious things happen in the real world or the YouTube atmosphere, the YouTube world, I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to discuss it passionately, especially as it pertains to my people. All right, y'all.